Well, good morning. It's a cloudy day, cloudy morning, I guess. Hopefully it smartens up here and the sun can come out. But for right now, I'm gonna try doing some baling. I'm gonna see how it's gonna work. The straw was very dry yesterday, and we had a demo out actually that did a whole bunch of baling, and it worked unbelievable. I'll get more to that. It's over there. I wanted to see whether my unit could bale, so we're gonna give it a try. I'm gonna go feel the straw first so that I can know whether I expect to plug right away or not. But the humidity is very high, and that often is that should help. Yeah, there's a bit of moisture there, so let's try it. Seems to be working good so far. We're gonna go take a look and see what kind of bale we made. Alright, that's not great. Not horrible, a little lopsided. Not too bad. Probably gonna go a little bit smaller, but it worked. Okay, I ran a few bales out in the field there, and we are gonna focus on combining for the rest of the day. We've got 4 going. I got my brother-in-law out. He farms about an hour away, and he's caught up. He's gonna run this combine.
Yeah, just confirming I'm field number 8, correct?
I just gotta show him the roads. He's never driven a Gleaner. He's driven John Deere. So we'll teach him a few things here, show him how it works, and hopefully we can have a good day. We've talked to Germans about this combine and the heating issues that we've been having. So if there's any at all, they're on their way. Yesterday, it ended up running great for quite a while. Yeah, it ran good, so we're we're not sure what's going on here, but let's hope we have a good day. It's hot, it's really hot out, and it's windy, so all right, we're here rolling. Earlier I talked about a different baler too. Little Morton dropped off a Fendt with a baler, and I did a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna do a little bit more with it tomorrow. They're not picking it up till tomorrow, so we'll I'll show you a little bit more about that tomorrow. That thing worked unreal. It was awesome. So anyway, back to combining.
Okay, so my view today is a little different. Yesterday we got a toy out, and I spent the better part of 3 hours trying to figure out how to drive this thing, and we're now getting the hang of it. And so today's going to be a bit of a fun day. We've got 320 acres of wheat left. The goal is to...
Dad, have you had your own set this entire path?
I haven't used my auto steer yet.
That's good.
So yes, so the one thing that's you're hearing that we're not using auto steer, that is the one dilemma to what we're doing today. And I'll explain that in a bit. But so what I'm driving today is a Fendt 9T. One very interesting part in this combine, I'm not trying to give you a crotch shot by any stretch, but there is no steering wheel in here. So what have you been going for speed?
Pretty much been loading everyone at 2.5.
Okay. So she's unloading everybody at 2.5. This is my steering wheel here. I got a joystick. Isn't that kind of fun? So I'm holding a camera, if you will, and needing two hands, one for driving forward and one for steering. So this could get entertaining. So if the camera falls out, you know why. Because the camera will be the first one to fall out of favor. This is probably one of my, if not my favorite feature on this combine, is the unload on it. It is like crazy fast. I believe, except that I am now on steering. Auto steer would be fabulous. I'll explain it, like I said, I'll explain in a bit as to why we cannot. Probably makes it a little tricky for my cart driver here too, that I'm doing what I'm doing. With a steering wheel you can do lots of stuff with your elbow. Here you cannot.
What's your moisture rate compared to yesterday? Definitely higher. I think it's reading field pump is reading 15.6 average, current 15.3. But I think I'm going up a point high.
Okay. Put my auger back in and we're good. Heading back out here. Let's get at her. So part of the reason we're not doing auto steer, not that we don't want to, we'd love to be. We've got 4 different combines going. Cousin Kenny's in here with his 8120. He's got a 35-foot MacDon header on there. Draper head, flex draper, let me be specific. Our 2 combines have 40-foot honeybees. And then this combine has a 45-foot gearing off. So they're all draper heads, they're all flex heads. All 3 different brands with 3 different sizes. So that is where the confusion comes, or the inability to do auto steer, because, well, it's just tricky. And the other thing is we're having to go round and round so that my daughter Mackenzie has a chance of keeping up with us on the grain cart. So it is going to be tricky. It's going to be a crazy day, but we're going to try to have fun, and we're going to try to get some wheat thrashing done here.
All right, I got my brother-in-law Kevin. He's running that combine. Temperature is still getting up there. We're not getting any straw in that area, so that's good. No fires, right? But we think we might have an idea what it is. We called Drummond's. They're checking to see if they have a part. It's to make sure the pitch of the fan is the way it's supposed to be. And if they have that logical, then they're going to come out and change it. Deal. Now I get to truck. All right, it's windy. I'm not sure what you're hearing, but we've got just about 80 acres done. Man, with 4 combines, that doesn't take long. We cut this field into in half. I think it's yielding good. The combines are moving. Lots of dust.
So for those of you that don't know, Fendt combines and Gleaner combines are both made by this, or owned by the same company called AGCO. And Gleaner's been around for a long time here in North America. Fendt is a very popular name, and it's been for decades in Europe. And well, sought after name. Both companies are now owned by the same company, and so that's where it comes. So that being said, this cab is very similar to the one that's in our Gleaner. There are a few differences. Number one, like already earlier stated, there is no steering wheel in this combine. You can get Fendt combines with steering wheels. They would have like the Fendt 7, 8, and 9, I believe. They just do not have the 9 and 10s. You can buy in a 9 and 10T. And the T stands for tracks, pretty straightforward. So so that's kind of where we're at. That's the nuts and the bolts of that. So where are the differences? The Gleaner combine, the rotor runs sideways, parallel to the header, if you will, perpendicular to the line of travel. Fendt combine has 2 rotors running parallel to the line of travel, perpendicular to the header. So the way the rotors are running is different. They're a very different design combine. Honestly, besides the cab, that's about where the thing starts, or the differences end. Or similarities end is with the cab. So other than that, it's they're very different combines. Getting used to this, all very similar. Not hard to get used to. All very much the same. Talk the same language, easy for me to understand. The joystick, believe it or not, I love the fact that we don't have a steering wheel for visibility. Getting used to this joystick is very intriguing. It's taken a lot more than I thought it was going to get used to be honest. So that's been an adjustment, and perfectly and frankly, that has been that's probably been my biggest challenge. Now, that being said, I'm hearing that the other guys are all running auto steer, so I have now decided to start doing the same. So that's all good. So we've got the auto steer running. There is a feature on here where I can actually, it's called Harvest Smart, I think, or I'm not even sure what they call it, but it's if I were to put this thing on cruise control, this thing's got enough sensors and computers to it that it knows when we need to speed up and when we need to slow down. So yeah, really kind of cool. What else can I tell you? That's, I mean, besides looking at it, there's the unload tube is much faster. Like I said, it's 6 bushels a second, I believe. Ours is 4, so that's significant. Ours is old school turret. Believe it or not, most guys will not. Our Gleaner augers actually have a higher clearance on the grain cart than the Fendt does. Doesn't mean that it's better. I'm just saying obvious the things that I'm noticing. So the turret auger is higher. It is slower, however. This Fendt auger is terribly fast. Like, man, it unloads the auger quick. So that's really cool. Sample wise, I know the old saying is nothing's cleaner than a Gleaner. Still gonna hold true to that, but the boys got this thing dialed in pretty good from LMS, and it's got the sample, I would say, pretty much the same as what our Gleaner is. So that's very acceptable to us. Losses, again, same thing. We've got it all lined up so they're good. And so in many different ways, everything is, we've taken the time, we've got things set up the way we want it. So that's good. So the other main differences we've got on here are the headers. I guess in saying that about the Fendt, the one thing that we could say is Fendt rotor runs more similar to what the Case 8120 is. 8120's got one bigger rotor. The Fendt has 2 smaller ones, so that's where that's at. Now getting to the headers. The header on This combine is a gearing off. I believe it's a German-owned company, and it's a flex draper. Lots of features on this header that I have liked, and there's lots that intrigues me. First day and a half with it has been a little bit challenging. There's a lot going on here. In this one, just like in ours, the header has its own monitor, so our honeybees have the same thing, which that's one thing that I know Dylan, my son, doesn't like. He says, why can't that all be integrated into the combine one? So that's the one. Both of our headers and the gearing off both have that. On this gearing off, there is a lot going on, and yeah, that's, so I'm still trying to learn that. I'm sure once a guy gets used to it, comfortable with it, you would learn to like it. Not saying that I don't, it's just been a lot for me to get to know that as well as the combine. So that I'm still getting used to. It shaves the ground pretty good. It's just a matter of getting all of the other things figured out here. So the R's, the ones we're running, are the honeybees 40 foots, and again, we've become very comfortable with those headers. Yes, they've got their quirks just like every header, but we've been comfortable with those quirks. Okay, so we are on the last pass on field number 8. So yesterday we finished field 9, today we're finished 8, and this one's also got a nickname called the Lagoon Quarter. So that's that. We are going to field number 1 next. But before we do that, we got to get everything switched over so that it is ready to start spreading straw again. So I'm hoping we get enough bales off of this. Today it was pretty hot, and we'll see how it's going to do for baling, but hopefully we get enough bales. That'll be the next key, I guess. Yes, on that note, field number 8 is complete. Okay, so we are on field number 1 in Twin Elm language. Last field of wheat for 2024. It's a quarter section, 160 acres, just pulled in here with 4 combines. So I think it's about 6 o'clock, and the goal is to see if we can get this done yet tonight, but time will tell, I guess. So for now, we're just going to have at her and see what we can get done. Some of the things that we're not dropping straw anymore, so that's a bonus. We got our combines were set up, just a matter of throwing the spreaders on, and Kenny's got his going. Learned to really appreciate this little feature on this combine. Well, still not getting it on. Yeah, now we got it. So now we're going to have to add.
And my iPad in the corner here is asking about active field business. Is this number 1 will mention ski or however you say that? Yep, press yes. And what it's doing is you're on the line of the field, I guess, or close enough to the edge of the field that it wants to make sure you're actually in this field, and you are.
And you hear the guys talking. So the guy that you're out here and ask the questions is Kemball's brother-in-law, who's been driving one combine and helping out there. So anyway, so what we're going to do now that I got auto steer going, I'm going to show you the neat little feature with this one. So what I did to get my...
I'm running 177 now the whole way.
Oh, that's awesome, Riley will be happy to hear that one, I'm sure.
The biggest test will be going the other direction, but yeah, so far so good.
So what we do now is we press this button, and this is where we move our chopper back into place, and all I do is press buttons on this particular screen and it does it. So now if I look in my mirror, which you're not going to be able to see, I'm not quite spreading it enough. So now what I do is I just make that little deal. We're going to go like that. I don't want to go too far because if it gets into the next pass, that sucks. So, but I do want it to...
I think gears are still on.
Yeah, he's right. My blinkers are on.
Turn signal that.
figured it out now. So apparently these little buttons, that's your turn signals. Learn something while on camera. Anyway, so we are going, grain carts here, trucks here. The guy, Riley from Drummond's is here again.
Sorry, I'm messing up.
And we're moving. So there you go.
That's my bad, sorry.
All lined up and going. I'm at the back this time just because that's the way I was going down the road. And we're going to see how this moves. So it is quite something when you take 160 feet basically in one pass. So it's kind of fun. We get to watch the neighbors do this every once in a while, but we do not get to do this. So okay, so we're turning and we're going. So we will keep you in the loop here as we get going, and I'll see if we can get you to see how much we're enjoying the last few of the week. Okay, so I'm doing some playing around. I've been talking to Will and I'm getting much more comfortable with this unit. So what I'm doing now is I've actually got this thing on cruise control. And
Sorry, I'm assuming I'm very full.
I believe if I look at it,
You're pretty full.
I'm gonna say we're set up so that minimum speed of like 3 miles an hour and a max of 5. And Will's telling me that that thing is gonna push this combine more than I will. And we've been running it today quite steady and just trying to keep everything going and yet not pushing too hard. So here we're getting into a different spot. You're gonna see this number is literally gonna go up on its own. Man, the living this thing's eating. Okay, so now we're back down to 3.7. We have to watch our losses because you see them starting to creep up when we start going too hard. But now we're down to 3. And it's just, I'm not touching this stick. You can see there's no hand on there. So this combine's doing this all on its own. It's learning it. It's kind of crazy what technology can all do here. At least this is the kind of technology I've never dealt with before. So I did learn something though, that my supper's down there and I went to grab a chip in my bag and I bumped my joystick and it sent my thing kind of goofy all over the place. Oop. Is it going to pull back? My engine speed is saying too low and we're creeping back down. So it seems like that 3.7 is kind of what we're doing here, and as we like, it's going through good. I would say she's going through pretty hard. 113 right now. She's gonna start coming down, I'm thinking. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, just thought I'd share a little bit of what technology here is all doing. Like I said, I am not touching this joystick, so kind of fun to watch.
Plugging away. This is the 5th load off that field. I think we're getting close to half done, or we are half done. So this field seems to be doing a little weaker than our other ones, but it's still doing good. Me and Peter are able to keep up, but we are literally going there. Cart is full, and cart's full, cart takes off, Kenzie takes off, and she gets them empty, and vicious cycle. It's a good problem. I'm suspecting I got roughly 2 more loads, possibly 3 at the very most, so we're done weed. So it's exciting. It's a good night. The wind is still up, and it's always fun when you get to do farm work with your friends, and when a group comes together and helps crush some acres. So nice that my brother-in-law and Kenny could come out to help us out to get this wheat knocked off. And also to Little Morton to give us a combine that we could use for a day and a bit.
Okay, so a demo wouldn't be a demo without doing some comparisons. And so what we've done is we've got all the combines set up so they're doing roughly the same sample, and throwing over that kind of thing. One thing I don't know 100% as to how much Kenny's pushing his 8120, whether he's actually ever just whatever. So I haven't talked to him about that. But I've had Dylan a couple times with the one S98, try to load it down to like 90 to 100% engine load for, let's say, a quarter-mile stretch, and just to see how fast he could go. So what he could do with the S98 was roughly 3.3, well, we're going to say 3.3 mile an hour. And that was with a 40-foot header. So we're cutting 39 actually, but we'll say it's 40-foot header. And going 3.3 mile an hour. So that works out to, you know, if he was able to do that on a steady basis, works out to about 15.5, 15.6 acres per hour that combine was doing. And so at the same time that he was doing that, I decided to take the Fendt into that same area and put the cruise control on. So it was working itself right to the nines, and we could get, I could get it over 3.7, but it did not like staying there very much. So
sorry, I was trying to capture a moment with taking a picture, so I wasn't getting the truck straight.
So the we're going to say 3.7. You could go as high as say 3.8. Works out to just under 20 acres per hour with a 9T, with this 9T. So, yep, there's definitely some differences in these combines. The 8120, historically, when we've been combining with Kenny, and we've done that a fair bit, our combines will travel very similar speeds. Combining together, kind of almost tit for tat all day long. Now we're running a 40-foot, he's running a 35. Is there that much of a difference? I'm not going to say. Our combines are also a little bit newer, so that'll also play into it. All things said, that's where it's at. And yeah, so it's been kind of a fun little day. Only thing that would have made it a bit more fun for everybody else would have been is if we would have had a bit more time, we could have taken turns driving this thing, but instead I've hogged it all day. So I guess lucky for me and not so lucky for everybody else. But yeah, we got about 10 feet left over on the side over there. So we got one pass here, and actually now that I think of it, we also left pass on the other 80 here beside us that we'll go clean up. So we got 2 little strips to clean up, and then we are done wheat harvest. So I don't know if you can see the lights way ahead, but that's the grain cart sitting there waiting for everybody.
My GoPro doesn't quite capture how awesome that is. I think they're coming their last pass. All 4 combines coming together, wrapping things up here. I think Peter's gonna have to come out for one more load, and that'll be it. Alright, we got everybody home. All the combines are in the yard, tucked away for the night. Oh, jeepers. Truck needs def to get home. You need how much more? It's always nice to get the wheat off, cleaned up, and that went a lot better than our oats did. So again, nice to finish things up and work together with friends and family, get the job done. So anyway, wheat's done, canola's next, and well, baling too. I'll be running that demo tomorrow morning, so we'll see how that thing works in the straw. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and have yourself a good one.